Alrighty, hello. Good evening and welcome back to the Law Entrance YouTube channel and to another session of the Hindu analysis. Today is 18th of March 2026 and we are live. I hope I am clearly audible and visible to everyone. Please give me a yes in the chat box if I'm clearly audible and visible. And then let's start our discussion for the day. Good evening, everyone. All right. ठीक है. Everything okay? All right. I hope you guys are attending the daily Telegram quizzes, which are happening on the Telegram channel. If you have not joined yet, please do so. And if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, please do that as well. I see a lot of students who watch this video and stream regularly, but do not subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. That gives us a lot of encouragement to bring more such content for you all. And a lot of good stuff is coming up in the next few days and weeks. So make sure that you stay tuned. Chalo. Good evening, everyone. Let's start our discussion for today's Hindu analysis. Today is 18th of March. Let's look at today's agenda. There are three topics which we're going to discuss today. The first one is regarding India's carbon credit plan. This is an editorial article. Then we have an article on negotiations with Ladakh. Now that we know Mr. Sonam Wangchuk has been discharged of his NSA charges, we'll talk about that, what is going to happen in terms of the negotiations happening in Ladakh, the fifth schedule, the sixth schedule. I'll give you the entire background once again so that we have a overall understanding of the topic. And then there is an update which is not mentioned upfront in the newspaper, but I felt important to discuss, so I have kept it in the agenda. This is regarding India submitting its first report with reference to the Nagoya Protocol alongside the Convention of Biodiversity. So ये हमारे लिए थोड़ा सा important है, environment related topics, and उसमें जो important updates हैं वो important होती है. So I have incorporated it into today's session. So these are the three topics for discussion. Nagoya is a place in which country? Jaldi se batao chat box mein if you guys are aware. This is a protocol. This is a treaty on usage of new genetic technologies, new genetic developments for the benefit of all, for all biodiversity. So that was the Nagoya Protocol in a very short manner. Then, of course, three new vocabulary words of the day, like always. Also, one more important thing. Today I'm traveling because of some urgent personal work. So I'm recording this section prior, beforehand. So I would not be able to look at your chat responses today. So kindly, pardon me for that, for today's inconvenience. आज मैं आप लोगों के साथ chat box में उतना engage नहीं कर पाऊंगा. I'll try to keep you guys engaged in the session, and session उतना ही valuable रहेगा. But you guys keep on doing your chat. I'll look at the responses once the stream has ended. And if there are any questions, please drop them in the comments. I'll for sure answer them. ठीक है? After the stream, of course. ठीक है, चलो. तो मुझे बस आप लोगों को ये डिस्क्लेमर देना था कि अगर आप लोग कुछ मैसेज करो आज चैट पे और मैं रिप्लाई ना दे पाऊँ तो इट्स नॉट दैट आई एम इग्नोरिंग योर मैसेज, इट्स जस्ट दैट आई डोंट हैव एक्सेस टू द चैट राइट. ठीक है, बट आई डिड नॉट वांट टू मिस दिस सेशन फॉर यू बिकॉज आज कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट अपडेट्स थी न्यूज़पेपर में, तो मैंने कहा चलो रिकॉर्ड कर देते हैं आप लोगों के लिए सेशन. ठीक है, कल से हम वापस अपने स्केड्यूल पे लाइव मिलेंगे आपको एंड विल एड्रेस ऑल योर क्वेरीज. ठीक है, बाकी आप में से जितने लोगों ने मुझे ईमेल किया है वो सारे मोस्टली मैंने रिस्पॉन्ड कर दिए हैं. टेलीग्राम पे आई थिंक एक दो मैसेजेस पेंडिंग हैं, तो वो भी मैं रिजॉल्व कर दूँ. विद दैट वी स्टार्ट टुडेज डिस्कशन. लेट्स मूव टू द न्यूज़पेपर फॉर टुडे. लेट्स स्टार्ट. Today is 18th of March, Wednesday, the Hindu newspaper. Let's begin our discussion. We start off with Afghanistan saying Pakistan has attacked in Kabul and they have killed 400 plus people. These are the claims made by the Afghanistani officials. This number has not been independently verified yet. We all know the conflict is ongoing between these two countries, and this is now in its third week, and cross-border clashes are ongoing, airstrikes are ongoing. And Afghanistan का claim है that Pakistan carried out this airstrike targeting a hospital. पाकिस्तान का कहना है कि हमने किसी हॉस्पिटल पे अटैक नहीं किया. We targeted just military facilities in eastern Afghanistan, and they call Afghanistan's casualty figures as a false narrative, as a propaganda. बाकी ब्रॉडर कॉन्टेक्स्ट जो है वो यही है कि पाकिस्तान इज अक्यूजिंग अफगानिस्तान ऑफ शेल्टरिंग मिलिटेंट्स हु आर अटैकिंग पाकिस्तान, स्पेशली द पाकिस्तानी तालिबान विच इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज TTP, है ना, तहरीक तालिबान पाकिस्तान, which are closely linked with the Afghanistani Taliban who took control of Afghanistan and currently rule in Afghanistan. But Afghanistan, on the other hand, is denying that it has given any safe haven to militants. So that is what is going on in this particular scenario. On the right hand side, you see another interesting update. Iran's security chief Ali Larijani has been killed in a strike, says Israel. तो ये इनके एक काफी सीनियर लीडर थे who is reportedly killed in an overnight strike. And ईरान की मिलिट्री और डिफेंस मिनिस्टर जो है इसराइल के सॉरी नॉट ईरान के, जिनका नाम है कैट्स, उन्होंने ये क्लेम किया है. And this person, Ali Larijani, was the secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, one of the most powerful figures in Iran, especially in context of the recent figures. And he was a very close associate of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who also was killed. And now his son is in power. Unka naam kya jaldi se? What is the name of the new ruler? The son of Khamenei, who is currently the supreme leader of Iran. Can you guys quickly tell me in the chat box? Jaldi se. Quick revision. बाकी ईरान की गवर्नमेंट ने भी ना कंफर्म की है इनकी डेथ, ना डिनाई की है इनकी डेथ, सो अभी कुछ कह नहीं सकते. अली खमेनी की डेथ जो है कंफर्म हो चुकी है, वी ऑल नो दैट. एंड मुज्तबा खमेनी इज नाउ द न्यू सुप्रीम लीडर. एंड एस्केलेशन जो है इस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट में बढ़ता ही जा रहा है. इट डज नॉट सीम टू बी कमिंग टू अ सीज फायर एनी टाइम सून. Alright, moving ahead, city-based news is not important for us, so we can skip this. Una flogging case मैंने आपको बताया था. This was regarding a Dalit man who was assaulted by some people, and उसमें 5 people have been convicted and sentenced to 5 years in jail. That is the update. High Court seeks status update on investigation against Mohammad Deepak. ये केस भी हमने क्लास में डिस्कस किया था. This was regarding a guy protecting a Muslim shopkeeper, and when he was asked his name, he said, "My name is Mohammad Deepak," which is of course a sarcastic, ironic comment. But yeah, it created quite a uproar on social media. He was a gym owner, and many people, turned violent against him, and then he seeked protection. All of that happened. BJP is diluting rural job scheme. Chhattisgarh Congress stages a protest. Muslim groups back Supreme Court observations on inheritance rights. Now this is an interesting one. अब यहाँ पे कॉन्टेक्स्ट क्या चल रहा है थोड़ा सा मैं आपको बताता हूँ. रिसेंटली जो है सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक ऑब्जर्वेशन किया था. दिस वाज मेड बाय अ बेंच व्हिच वाज लेड बाय आवर चीफ जस्टिस सूर्यकांत along with 2 other judges, Justice Bagchi and Justice Mahadevan, where they suggested that uniform civil code could be the most effective way to remove gender bias in laws like marriage laws, inheritance laws, and property rights. And the issue is about inheritance rights for Muslim women and gender equality in property laws. And काफी सारे मुस्लिम ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस ने जो है इस डिसीजन को वेलकम किया है. ये केस चल क्यों रहा था? दिस वाज रिगार्डिंग अ पिटिशन चैलेंजिंग द शरीयत एक्ट, द मुस्लिम पर्सनल लॉ, शरीयत जिसको बोलते हैं. एंड पिटिशनर्स वर आर्ग्यूइंग दैट दिस लॉ लीड्स टू अनइक्वल इनहेरिटेंस फॉर वुमेन एज कंपेयर्ड टू मेन. काफी सारे सोशल एक्टिविस्ट सामने आए who supported the court's observation, saying that this is a positive step towards equality and constitutional justice. कोर्ट ने कहा कि जेंडर इनइक्वालिटी जो है इनहेरिटेंस में सिर्फ मुस्लिम्स तक ही सीमित नहीं है, ये हिंदू फैमिलीज में भी है, ये ट्राइबल कम्युनिटीज में भी है. दिस इज कैरिंग ऑन एज अ कस्टम across communities, not just one community, which demands a larger national debate on gender equality, personal laws versus common laws. Uniform Civil Code is one of our DPSPs as well, Directive Principle of State Policy. Which article of the Indian Constitution mentions UCC? Constitution में एक article है regarding Uniform Civil Code. कौन सा article है? जल्दी से आप लोग बताओ chat box में. Let's see if you guys know it. All right, आगे चलते हैं हम लोग towards our discussion. Let's see what else do we have. This is mostly state politics, which we can skip. Nothing important for us here. Okay, this is all state-based news, which is not relevant for us. All right, again state politics. Nothing important here. Okay, editorial section. India's West Asia reset, more sinned against than sinning. Now, we all know what is happening in West Asia or the Middle East, and the foreign policy of our country is changing as well. It needs a reset because the geopolitics have transformed, the allies have changed, the interests of different groups have changed. काफी सारे ट्रेंड्स यहाँ पे इन्होंने ऑब्जर्व किए हैं. सबसे पहले बताते हैं कि हाउ इन द पास्ट डेकेड इंडिया के जो गल्फ कंट्रीज से टाइज हैं वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा मजबूत हुए हैं. हमारे जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर उन्होंने काफ़ी गल्फ कंट्रीज विजिट करी मल्टीपल टाइम्स. ही ऑल्सो विजिटेड ईरान, ऑल्सो विजिटेड पैलेस्टाइन, ऑल्सो विजिटेड इजराइल. ऑल थ्री ऑफ देम काइंड ऑफ फाइटिंग विद ईच अदर. एंड हमने ट्रेड डील्स भी साइन करी यूएई के साथ, ओमान के साथ. एंड जीसीसी गल्फ कोऑपरेशन काउंसिल इस समय इंडिया का बिगेस्ट इकोनॉमिक पार्टनर है, बिगेस्ट ट्रेडिंग पार्टनर है, जहाँ पे हम 160 बिलियन प्लस डॉलर्स का ट्रेड कर रहे हैं. ऑलमोस्ट 1 करोड़ इंडियन डायस्पोरा जीसीसी में रहता है. The second thing which they observe in this article is how Gulf countries are valuing partners who can ensure their security and stability. And of course, America is feeling really bad in that. We all saw the bombings which happened in different countries. Iran did that. And that has shaken their trust in a US-led security system. जिसको Pax Americana भी कह देते हैं. And now they are looking for newer partners. चाहे वो सऊदी अरेबिया पाकिस्तान के साथ अलायंस कर रहा हो, चाहे वो ईरान आपका रशिया और चाइना के साथ अलायंस कर रहा हो. Everyone is looking for new strategic partners. And now India needs to be more direct, more strategic, not trying to please everyone. We should show clear support for some partners like Israel and other Gulf states. जिनके साथ हमारे अच्छे रिलेशनशिप हमेशा से रहे हैं. And the big change is going to be our focus shifting on rather than balancing all sides, we should be focused on seeing what side is best for us and act more like an independent global power. काफी सारे इन्होंने criticism यहाँ पे किए हैं that मोदी जी की जो इजराइल विजिट थी अभी very recent, that was quite questionable. India may be sort of ignoring Iran and Palestine by signaling through that visit and becoming too close to the West, becoming too close to the US. Recently हमने देखा US के साथ जो है हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं अपने टैरिफ वगैरह कम करवाने की, but we all know Donald Trump and his tantrums, so it's not really working out well. कल ही हम न्यूज़पेपर में देख रहे थे that India wants to hold on for a while before we enter into a trade agreement with US. So that is also linked to this as well. ऑथर कहते हैं कि ये जो टाइमिंग है मोदी जी के इजराइल विजिट की ये काफी अनफेयर थी. And he says that China and Russia haven't fully supported Iran, but they have shown their direction, they have shown their inclination. And even Arab countries were quiet during the Gaza conflict. So that creates another dimension to this nuance. He says that India should not go too far in one direction. We must still, sort of support Palestinian concerns, but still maintain ties with Iran as well, Israel as well. So ऑथर थोड़ा सा अपने आप को कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट भी करते हैं इस आर्टिकल में, बट ही सेज दैट वी नीड टू हैव अ स्ट्रॉन्गर स्टैंस. ये नहीं कि सबको खुश करते जाएं. दैट इज व्हाट ही इज ट्राइंग टू से, दैट वी नीड टू बी मोर रियलिस्टिक एंड इंटरेस्ट ड्रिवन rather than being too idealistic and balancing all the sides. On the left hand side, you see nothing at all. The center must negotiate in good faith with Ladakhi leadership. This we'll discuss on the PPT in detail. A bit of blur over India's new carbon credit plan. This also we'll discuss on the PPT. What is the carbon credit plan? On the left hand side, you see prison outbreak. India's overcrowded jails pose a serious health risk to inmates. Inmates मतलब prisoners, जो जेल में कैदी लोग हैं उनको inmates कहते हैं. And they talk about how this is becoming a serious public health crisis as well, because the jails are overcrowded. उस वजह से health care poor है, उस वजह से diseases spread हो रहे हैं, लोगों की जान जा रही है. काफी सारे recent इंसिडेंट्स इन्होंने हाईलाइट किए. केस इन पॉइंट इज द जलपाईगुड़ी सेंट्रल करेक्शन होम, जहां पे 7 डेथ्स वर रिपोर्टेड एंड 92 पीपल वर इन्फेक्टेड विद herpes or the HSV virus, which is quite common in crowded conditions, and it can also become very deadly. It can also cause brain infection. So this overcrowding is a big problem. Our prisons are operating at 171% capacity, यानी कि 100 लोग आ सकते हैं तो वहाँ पे 171 लोग हैं, which makes hygiene and isolation much difficult. And across India, prisons की occupancy जो है 160% से ज़्यादा ही है. कुछ जेल्स में ये 400% भी क्रॉस कर चुकी है, which of course contributes to the rise of diseases, especially skin diseases like TB, tuberculosis, and COVID-19 में of course we saw a lot of deaths. HIV rates are higher than the national average. And of course, A weak healthcare system catering to prisoners is of course another contributing factor. Doctors की shortage है, psychologists की shortage है, and that is creating more of a loop जहाँ पे prisoners एक healthcare crisis में फंसते जा रहे हैं. And the courts have recognized multiple times that prisoners, भले ही वो prisoners हो, उनके पास still there is a right to healthcare, and this right of prisoners is very poorly implemented. तो काफी सारे suggestions देते हैं author कि कैसे medical screening होनी चाहिए सारे prisoners की, better staffing होनी चाहिए doctors की, psychologists की. The prison should be integrated into the national health mission as well. Prisons का ventilation, hygiene, outbreak management control होना चाहिए. Then overcrowding के लिए नए jails बनने चाहिए. तो यही सारी चीजें, कोर्ट केसेस स्पीड अप करने की जरूरत है, अंडर ट्रायल प्रिजनर्स को रिलीज करने की जरूरत है, एंड छोटे मोटे ऑफेंसेस के लिए बेल या नॉन कस्टोडियल पनिशमेंट्स देके जेल को खाली करने की जरूरत है. दैट इज व्हाट द सजेशंस बाय द ऑथर आर, व्हिच आई बिलीव आर गुड सजेशंस. ओके, आगे चलते हैं हम लोग. लेट्स सी व्हाट एल्स डू वी हैव. व्हाई द एफिलिएशन सिस्टम इज आउटडेटेड, ऑल्दो नॉट वेरी रेलेवेंट from CLAT perspective, but ठीक है, मैं आपको context दे देता हूँ. It talks about how there has been a major reform in our higher education after the National Education Policy, the recent one, 2020 की जो NEP है हमारी, which is focusing on ending this college university affiliation system and giving colleges more control, more autonomy. अब क्या क्या proposal थे NEP 2020 में? It wants to gradually phase out this affiliation system over the next 15 years, where colleges will become independent in themselves and would get power to grant their own degrees. अभी क्या होता है, यूनिवर्सिटी के अंडर जो कॉलेजेस होते हैं वो यूनिवर्सिटी के थ्रू डिग्री ग्रांट करते हैं, ठीक है, एंड यूनिवर्सिटीज act as a regulator. But what they want is that universities should just act as mentors, helping the colleges to improve their quality. अभी का सिस्टम जो है हमें पता ही है, द कॉलेज इज लिंक्ड टू अ पर्टिकुलर यूनिवर्सिटी. यूजीसी की गाइडलाइंस है, यूनिवर्सिटी ग्रांट्स कमीशन की, एंड दीज यूनिवर्सिटीज would set the curriculum, they would conduct the exams, they would control the academic standards. कॉलेज के हाथ में कुछ रह नहीं जाता. कॉलेज अपना सिलेबस भी डिसाइड नहीं कर सकता, कॉलेज अपने हिसाब से एग्जाम पेपर डिसाइड नहीं कर सकता, किस लेवल का एकेडमिक स्टैंडर्ड रहेगा वो भी डिसाइड नहीं कर सकता. तो इस वजह से ऑटोनॉमी काफी कम है. बट ड्यू टू दिस चेंज, दिस वुड ब्रिंग मोर यूनिफॉर्मिटी एंड कंट्रोल विद कॉलेजेस एंड वुड डेफिनेटली शो एन इम्पैक्ट in the quality of education. क्योंकि अभी यूनिवर्सिटीज जो हैं वो ऑलरेडी ओवरबर्डन है. काफी सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज hundreds of colleges को मैनेज कर रही है, and they get stuck in this loop of exams, administration, compliance, and research पे कोई फोकस नहीं हो पाता, innovation पे कोई फोकस नहीं हो पाता. उसके लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है कॉलेजेस को अपनी जो है ऑटोनॉमी दी जाए एंड चीजें स्ट्रीमलाइन करी जाए. दैट इज व्हाट दिस आर्टिकल highlights, that quality check should also happen through the NIRF framework, through the accreditation board, and focus should be shifting from control to quality and accountability. So yeah, that's pretty much what the NEP wants to achieve. ठीक है जी, आगे चले. Let's move ahead. Tamil Nadu needs basic science funding to create green tech. All right. Scientific collaborations and BRICS. Let's read the gist of this. इस बार ब्रिक्स समिट कहाँ होनी है? 2026 ब्रिक्स समिट इज scheduled to happen in which country? जल्दी से बताओ चैट बॉक्स में प्लीज. BRICS, this edition is going to happen in which country? BRICS has emerged as a key international voice on global finance and macroeconomic issues. However, the cooperation among member states on science, technology, and innovation remains less publicized. Scientific collaboration among BRICS nations has strengthened over time, yet areas that require heavy infrastructure or are more exploratory, like mega science projects and ocean or polar research, they have developed slower. While working groups reflect these shared development priorities, their progress varies across different fields. There are questions regarding whether the current framework is sufficient for future needs or not. ठीक है. Moral disengagement, impact of power, this you can skip. Pakistan's bombing of Kabul Rehab Center is a barbaric act. India responds to escalation in the ongoing conflict after the Taliban administration revealed that the bombing led to the death of 400 people. Front page पे जो news थी वही चीज है. India unequivocally condemns Pakistan's barbaric airstrike on the Omid Addiction Treatment Hospital in Kabul. This is a cowardly and unconscionable act of violence that has claimed the lives of large number of civilians in a facility which can by no means be justified as a military target. Congress reiterates call for all party meet on women's quota law. This is the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, or the Women's Reservation Act of 2023, which proposes 1/3 of Lok Sabha seats for women candidates. UGC like funding powers to fall under Shiksha Abhinushthan, suspension of 8 MPs. ठीक है. NIA probes wider network after arrest of US Ukrainian nationals. Nothing important for us here. This is again state elections, assembly polls. You can skip this. West Asia conflict takes a toll on medical tourism in India. मतलब people who come to India for their medical treatments, वो भी जो है कम हो गया है. All right. Supreme Court allows 12 weeks paid leave to all new adoptive mothers. मतलब जो mothers children adopt करती हैं, उनको भी जो है maternity leave का right दिया जाएगा. The Supreme Court said that maternity leave is a basic human right, and they also urged the government to recognize paternity leave as well in a legal manner. So here they were discussing the Code on Social Security 2020, which allows for 12 weeks of maternity leave only if the adopted child is under 3 months old. मतलब आप 3 महीने से कम का बच्चा अगर अडॉप्ट करोगे तभी आपको 12 हफ्ते की मैटरनिटी लीव मिलेगी. And this rule was challenged in the court, saying that this was unfair and unrealistic. And court said that yes, the rule is unconstitutional and discriminatory. The adoptive mothers deserve the same rights as biological mothers. This rule was problematic because the adoption process usually takes more than 3 months, and many mothers therefore get excluded from this maternity leave ka benefit, and they are denied the emotional bonding time with their child, the physical and mental well-being of their child. So yeah, that is the rationale which the court has used, saying that maternity benefit is equal to protection of women's right at work, and adoption is also an expression of reproductive autonomy. It's almost the same as giving birth, and without maternity leave the mothers would be forced back to work early and the child would suffer because of lack of care. Therefore they said कि भाई change किया जाए law में, and सारी mothers को जो है adoption पे 12 weeks की maternity leave दी जाए. ठीक है जी. Both government and people have to be flexible regarding the demands, says Sonam Wangchuk. The climate activist seeks a judicial closure of his case, says linguistic misunderstandings may have been one of the reasons for his detention for 170 days, almost half a year, under the National Security Act. We all know he was jailed under the NSA, and he was arrested after violence erupted in the town of Leh in September 2025 during protests where they were demanding statehood for Ladakh and inclusion of Ladakh under the 6th schedule for tribal protections. थोड़ी सी करेंगे इसकी बात PPT पे भी, but now he has been released by the Union government. The NSA order has been revoked, and this happened just before the Supreme Court was about to give a verdict on his detention challenge. So yeah, that's the update. Baki alleged that he was suddenly detained and he was not allowed to contact with family or lawyers for almost a week, and criticized the use of NSA for such situations. Baki said, protest की बात करें तो this movement is not personally motivated. He is focusing on protecting Ladakh ka culture and environment. And he said that he defended his cause, and the struggle will continue if the demands of statehood are not met, but in a peaceful manner. So yeah, 9-judge bench starts hearing on definition of industry. काफी interesting case है ये labor law का, जहाँ पे they are deliberating कि अगर एक डिफेंस रिसर्च ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जैसे DRDO हो गई, उसमें अगर एक कैंटीन है तो क्या वो इंडस्ट्री मानी जाएगी या फिर वो एक सॉवरेन फंक्शन माना जाएगा, बिकॉज डिफेंस इज अंडर सॉवरेन फंक्शन. देखते हैं इस पे क्या जजमेंट आता है. दिस इज अंडर द इंडस्ट्रियल डिस्प्यूट्स एक्ट ऑफ 1947. सेक्शन 2J में जो है इंडस्ट्री की डेफिनेशन है. ये आप पढ़ते हो इन 5th ईयर ऑफ लॉ स्कूल जब आपको लेबर लॉज पढ़ाए जाते हैं. इंटरेस्टिंग सब्जेक्ट है काफी. ठीक है, आगे चलते हैं हम लोग. डोमेस्टिक LPG प्रोडक्शन अप बाय 38%. नाइस. Ministry of Planning and NITI Aayog get House panel rap for poor planning of finances. यहाँ पे रैप मतलब वो नहीं है जो हनी सिंह और बादशाह करते हैं, ऑल्दो वो भी रैप नहीं होता. नो ऑफेंस टू देम, बट यहाँ पे रैप का मतलब है डांट लगाना, फटकार लगाना. ठीक है, तो उनको जो है डांट लगी है फॉर पुअर प्लानिंग ऑफ देयर फाइनेंसेस. Expedite pending new gas pipeline projects, center tells the states. Infosys hits 3-year low on AI fears and war. ठीक है. US counterterrorism chief resigns over Trump's Iran war and blames Israel. His name is Joe Kent, and his departure reflects unease within the Donald Trump's base about the war. He says that Iran posed no imminent threat to US, says the director of National Counterterrorism Center. The top official calls out Israel and its American lobby for pressuring Washington into the war. Trump insists that Iran was a tremendous threat. बेसिकली सब लोग जो है अपना सपोर्ट विड्रॉ करते जा रहे हैं, कोई डोनाल्ड ट्रंप को सपोर्ट कर नहीं रहा है इसमें. Israel strikes Tehran and Beirut. Tehran is the capital of Iran. Beirut is the capital of which country? जल्दी से बताओ चैट बॉक्स में. Baghdad's green zone was also hit. Baghdad is the capital of Iraq. UN condemns displacement of Palestinians in West Bank. Trump ने बोला है चाइना को to delay the Xi Jinping summit as Iran war is ongoing. Kurds seek a democratic Iranian state. We do not fight other powers wars. ठीक है. कर्ड्स क्या हैं, उनका क्या हिस्टोरिकल बैकग्राउंड है, ओरिजिन है, इस पे मैंने पूरा एक वीडियो बना रखा है. आप चैनल पे सर्च करोगे तो आपको मिल जाएगा. काफ़ी डिटेल्ड वीडियो है ऑन द कर्ड्स, सो डू चेक इट आउट. आईपीएल स्टार्ट होने वाला है 28 मार्च से, तो उसके रिगार्डिंग आर्टिकल्स आ रहे हैं. ठीक है. Iran is negotiating with FIFA to move the World Cup games from US to Mexico. All right. ठीक है. That's about the newspaper for the day, folks. Let's come back to our PPT, discuss the remaining 3 articles for the day as well. And then we'll do the vocab for the day. By the way, our quiz for this week would happen on Friday, live on the CL quiz platform. The topic for this week's quiz is current affairs for the month of January, February, and mid-March. So 15 days of March. So please come prepared and bring your friends as well to the quiz. It would happen on Friday after the Hindu analysis class. So around 8:45 the quiz start hoga. So please be there. I would love to host you all. Chalo, start karte hain with the first article, India's new carbon credit plan. A significant policy announcement in the Union Budget 26 involving a massive 20,000 crore outlay for a carbon credit program has sparked a wave of confusion and conflicting reports, pitting a clear-cut governmental roadmap for heavy industry against a burgeoning narrative of a new income stream for India's farmers. At the heart of the debate is a fundamental question. Is the budget allocation designed to fund carbon capture, utilization and storage technologies for smokestack industries? Or is it a pioneering schemes to help farmers earn carbon credits through sustainable agriculture? The roadmap acknowledges agriculture as a source of greenhouse gases, primarily methane and nitrous oxide, but only in an inventory context. It explicitly excludes agriculture from CCUS. CCUS is this carbon capture, utilization and storage strategies, because agricultural emissions are diffused biologically mediated and not suited to the point source capture technology that defines CCUS. The 20,000 crore CCUS program is a critical pillar for decarbonizing industry, a sector vital for growth, but also responsible for a quarter of India's emissions. Its success is non-negotiable for meeting our net zero goals. Simultaneously, the powerful narrative around farmers and carbon credits highlights a massive parallel opportunity. India's vast agricultural lands hold immense potential for carbon sequestration. Sequestration का मतलब होता है environment से carbon absorb करना, remove करना. A separate, well-designed policy to create a trusted domestic carbon market for agriculture could unlock enormous economic and environmental benefits, truly creating a new income stream for farmers. So carbon credits work ऐसे करते हैं that if you have extra surplus carbon credits, you can sell them in the market in exchange of money. And अगर आपने कम एमिशन किया है तो आपको कार्बन क्रेडिट्स ज़्यादा मिलेंगे ना, सरप्लस मिलेंगे. लेकिन आपने अगर एक्सीड कर दिया है या एक्सीड करने वाले हो अपना कार्बन एमिशन, तो आपको किसी और से कार्बन क्रेडिट्स खरीदने पड़ेंगे. तो बेसिकली दिस इज टू इंसेंटिवाइज और रादर डिसइंसेंटिवाइज कार्बन एमिशंस through carbon credits. That is how it works. The current debate underscores a pivotal movement in India's climate strategy. Budget has firmly placed it at 20,000 crore bet on industrial decarbonization through CCUS. The farmer carbon credit story, while not funded by this specific outlay, reflects a powerful and growing reality in the voluntary carbon space and a compelling demand for a parallel policy initiative. The path ahead requires the government to clearly demarcate, which means separate, these two crucial fronts in the climate fight, smokestack and soil, while advancing both with equal ambition. The confusion may be born of conflation today, but it points to comprehensive multi-sectoral approach which India will need to forge a sustainable future. ठीक है, अब बात करते हैं लद्दाख की. लद्दाख, वी ऑल नो, has been demanding statehood for quite a while now, and it was also one of the promises of the current ruling government that they would consider the statehood demand, but अभी जो है consider नहीं किया गया, and उसी के लिए protest कर रहे थे सोनम वांगचुक, and his release on 14th of March ended a months long legal and political standoff between his allies and Ladakh's leadership on one hand and the center on the other hand. Detaining him under NSA 1980, the center alleged a catalyst for Arab Spring-like mobilization to force its hand on Ladakh's constitutional status. Supreme Court also expressed serious concerns over Wangchuk's health in the Jodhpur jail. His release came just 3 days before the court's final hearing on the matter, letting the ministry to avoid a potentially embarrassing ruling that could have deemed the detention arbitrary. The National Security Act is a preventive detention law enacted in 1980 to maintain public order and national security. It involves the detainment of a person in order to keep him or her from committing future crimes or from escaping prosecution. Constitution के आर्टिकल्स की बात करें तो 22 clause 3b allows for preventive detention and restriction on personal liberty for reason of state security and public order, and 22 clause 4 states that no law providing for preventive detention shall authorize the detention for a 3 months. But NSA जो है इसको bypass कर रहा था. Government को powers दी गई हैं. The NSA empowers the center or the state government to detain a person to prevent him from acting in a manner prejudicial to national security, and they can detain a person to prevent him from disrupting public order. The maximum period under which they can be detained is 12 months. One of the major challenges of NSA is its potential misuse by the authorities. The law grants the government the power to detain individuals without trial for up to 1 year. Clause 1, and this is applicable in tribal majority areas in states like Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, and Mizoram, where the governor has special powers, including authority to annul matlab cancel and modify laws passed by parliament or the state legislature that apply to these areas. And they also have a tribes advisory council, which is mandatory in these states, comprising 20 members to advise on welfare. 6th schedule की बात करें तो this applies on specific tribal areas in Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram, and creates ADCs, Autonomous District Council. ये अभी न्यूज में भी थे, मेघालय में ADCs वायलेंस हो रहा था, या इनका टेन्योर जो एक्सटेंड किया गया मेघालय में. And regional councils which have legislative, judicial and financial powers. मतलब they can make laws, they can decide on laws, they can decide the budgets as well. These council can make laws on land, forest, village administration and inheritance. Now the last article for the day is Convention on Biological Diversity. तो अरे ये क्या हुआ? I think इसमें ये slide गलत आ गई है. Just give me 1 moment, folks. Let me sort this. Just a second, guys. Let me put the correct slide for this. Yeah, okay. So we're talking about the Convention on Biological Diversity, and why is this relevant? This is because India has submitted its first national report, NR1, on the implementation of the Nagoya Protocol to the Convention on Biological Diversity Secretariat. This is India's first NR1 and an initial submission to the convention detailing the country's implementation of the Nagoya Protocol on access and benefit sharing. This report was prepared by the Environment, Forest and Climate Change Ministry in collaboration with National Biodiversity Authority. And this covers a period of 1st November 2017 to 31st December 2025. Any last year. Nagoya Protocol क्या है? This is a supplementary agreement to the Convention on Biological Diversity, which provides a legal framework for access to genetic resources and fair sharing of benefits arising from its use. This was adopted on 29th October 2010 in Nagoya, which is in Japan, and this came into force on 12th October 2014. So that is the Nagoya Protocol. ठीक है, important आपके लिए था ये GK update, इसलिए मैंने यहाँ डाल दिया. Let's do the vocab for the day. The first word is unknowing. Unknowing का मतलब होता है परेशान होना, nervous होना, courage lose कर देना, confidence lose कर देना. That is unknowing. Agitating, anxious, nervous are synonyms. Calming, comfortable, easy are antonyms. She found the whole interview rather unnerving. The next word is pillaging. Pillaging मतलब होता है लूट पाट करना using violence, especially in wartime. Despoiling, looting, marauding are synonyms. The rebels went shooting and pillaging. And the last word for the day is sly. Sly means chatur chalak, having or showing cunning or deceitful nature. Cunning, crafty, clever are synonyms. Guileless, ingenious, or innocent are antonyms. People consider foxes as clever, but sly animals. So sly is cunning or deceitful. Pillaging is robbing using violence. And unnerving is getting anxious or nervous, losing confidence. With that, we end today's discussion. Once again, apologies for not being able to engage with the chat today. I'll make up for it tomorrow. And once again, reminder that the quiz is on Friday and we'll have our Hindu analysis as per plan. Tomorrow, same time, same place, 8 p.m. live tomorrow. ठीक है, चलो अगर कोई क्वेश्चन है आज के सेशन से रिलेटेड तो प्लीज ड्रॉप अ कमेंट आफ्टर द स्ट्रीम एंड आई विल डेफिनेटली एड्रेस देम. ठीक है, थैंक यू सो मच गाइस, थैंक यू फॉर कोऑपरेटिंग and see you tomorrow. Tata, bye bye, take care, good night.